early on, and today I'm going to give you some ideas to help with your garden. So we're going to start by making some plant markers, and then I'm going to give you an idea or a recipe for homemade natural weed killer. So our homemade markers, these are easy. You might need a grown-up to help you print the picture, but I just went on Google Images or in a Word document, and I found some pictures of things that are in my garden, and I made these little markers. So I have E for eggplant, and I have T for tomato, and then I just used packing tape and some scissors, and I cut strips. Oh, and you also need a popsicle stick or a tongue depressor, and I just cut some strips of tape, and I used them as my glue or protection from the water, because you have to water your garden so that your vegetables will grow. And then when it was all covered with the packing tape, I cut around the edges and I stuck them in my garden in front of the vegetables. If you don't like that idea, you can use wooden spoons. So I took some wooden spoons, you get 3 in a pack at the dollar store, and I painted them colors, whatever colors you want, just the tops of them, and then I wrote on them, and then you can use those as markers too in your garden. So again, I have things that are in my garden. So to make the natural weed killer, you need vinegar, Dawn soap, and salt. So and a water bottle. So you're gonna fill your water bottle with mostly vinegar, and then you're gonna add a 1/4 cup of salt, and then you're gonna add 1 squirt of Dawn soap. Put the lid on. Shake it up. And then we're going to go up to the garden and I'm going to show you how to use this. So now that we're out in our garden, we have to practice taking care of it. And if you can see, especially that garden over there, there's lots of weeds. So this is where you want to use the weed killer, the natural weed killer we made. So you need to spray it on all the weeds around the plant. And it's okay if you get some on the plants, because it's natural, it won't hurt them. Spray them really good. And then you're going to leave it for a day. And then you're going to come back tomorrow or the next day, and you're going to weed all of those weeds. And if you don't want to use the natural weed killer, you can do it the old-fashioned way. Put on your garden gloves, and you're going to get down there, and you're going to pick all of those weeds out. Some people would say this is very therapeutic. And then you're going to remember to put those weeds in your compost, or you're going to put them in a lawn bag to be recycled. Also, I'm going to show you all the cool things you can do to stake your tomatoes or your peppers that grow, or your plants that grow really big. So this is a tomato cage, and you can get them almost anywhere. And you can just put it on there, and it'll help your tomato plant grow nice and big. Look, our tomatoes have flowers. That means we're going to have lots of tomatoes. And if you don't want to use the tomato cage, you can just find a stick. So these are old sticks that I had, and then you have to press them into the ground. You might need a grown-up to help you with this. Make sure it's nice and sturdy, and then you're just going to use some twine and gently tie your tomato plants to the stick. And then for our green beans, we used our other sticks that made a bridge. And look, you can see they're already starting to come up there. And our cucumbers are getting nice and big too. And you can use sticks for those too. The cucumbers will grow up as well. And then remember we made these awesome plant markers? So you can use those in your garden. as decoration, or so you can remember what the plants are. And then I want you to come over here, because we also have all of our herbs. So we have parsley and sage, and these are great to grow because they smell awesome, but they're great to dry for the winter time. So you have herbs all winter long. So what you want to do to preserve them is cut them at the stem when they're ready, closer to the fall, and then you're going to tie them with a little twine. I'll show you. Bunch them all together. Tie them up. And then you're going to hang them in a dry place, so your garage or your shed. And then you're going to wait till they dry, and then you're going to put them in a little mason jar or a spice jar, and you'll have fresh sage all year long. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.